today's video is going to be a 24-hour reading challenge. I was going through the footage and I could not find the intro clip that I originally made, so we're just redoing it. The books that are going to be a part of it are A Very Nice Girl by Imogen Crimp, The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enriquez, The Perfect Marriage, oh, I'm blanking on that last name. Let me check my phone. Perfect Marriage by Jeneva Rose, the audiobook for House of Hunger, and that one is by Alexis Henderson. Those are the books that I am hoping to read during the challenge. Let's get started. Just finish A Very Nice Girl. I don't want to go too in depth on my thoughts because I do want to save that for my monthly wrap up, but what I wanted to share just a bit more and just like the general synopsis of this book. So we have our main character Anna. She is in her early 20s. She is a singer in London. One of her side jobs is working at this jazz, I guess like bar type of feel. One night she meets Max. Max is in his late 30s, early 40s. He is in the finance world. They end up having a conversation. He invites her out to dinner and their story just goes from there. Some things that I did just want to point out, it's different from the typical age gap contemporary book. This takes more of a nuanced approach on their dynamic, and I think highlighting the difference between Anna pursuing something that she loves and something that she's passionate about, even though she financially struggles, compared to Max, who took a more, I guess, like capitalist mindset and having the steady income, the 9 to 5. He does work in financing, but he hates it. He absolutely hates what he does. He's not passionate about it, and I think it's interesting having that contrast between the two. Another thing that I found very interesting is you do get to meet Anna's mom, the way that Anna's mom views the world and kind of places her anxieties and insecurities onto Anna as a child, then compare Anna's dynamic with Max. Since Max is a very traditional, you need to have a plan B, like very, very type A, seeing how he kind of starts to question some of Anna's decisions and how that doubt sits with Anna the same way that it sat when her mom was telling her these things growing up. So it was just really interesting. Obviously, because of the age gap, it does bring important conversations on power imbalance, agency, the lack thereof. I really, really am glad that I did a reread of this. I appreciated it so much more the second time around. For my thoughts for now, we are under an hour in, so I'm torn between reading the book on my Kindle or doing a short story of The Dangers of Smoking in Bed. Actually, I got something in the mail and I think it's the pop socket for my Kindle. Okay, wait, yeah, I did get the package in the mail. I got my pop socket from an Etsy store. This is the pop socket that I got. Camera up, one, because look at my little pop socket. Other thing is, well, first let me do a synopsis. So they're married. We have Sarah and Adam. Sarah's a defense attorney, Adam is a novelist, and he is having an affair in this other house that they own. He leaves, and in the morning he's notified that his mistress actually died. Not only died, I'm sorry, she was brutally stabbed. She was murdered. Pinning everything on Adam. And so Sarah has to come in and find out, not only has your husband been cheating on you for over a year, but he's also being charged with murder for the mistress. She's like one of the best defense attorneys out there. So she takes on the case. And I'm on chapter 30. The book does split, so every chapter is, one chapter is Sarah's perspective, the other chapter is Adam's perspective. Like, we're getting his inner monologue right now, and just the part that says, "Marriage over, is she over me? I know I had an affair, but just because I slept with someone else doesn't mean I stopped loving my wife. Adam. That's embarrassing. I'm starting to feel a bit groggy. I just took my medicine. Just gonna wait for that to kick in. Hoping that we go back to Sarah's because I cannot stand having to read Adam. Okay, so update, it has been how many hours? So I'm on chapter 49, page 263. I'm almost 80% of the way through, but I need a break. I need some fresh air. So I'm going to switch over to my audiobook, which is House of Hunger, and go on a walk. It is currently 6 hours. Went on a nice long walk and I started House of Hunger. The part where I'm at now, I think I'm on chapter 8 or 9. Essentially, we are following our main character called Mariana. She lives like in the slums of the South. In the newspaper, she finds a job offer to be a blood maid. There's people in the North that believe that if you drink blood, it helps you with like all these different medical conditions. So it's known that the people in the North are have a lot of money. They come from wealth, and if you become a blood maid and you're with them for like a set amount of time, then they give you money and you'll be well off as well. She goes to the person who put out the ad, decides that her blood is like very unique for this one type of house. So in the North, they have different types of houses, and the one that Mariana ends up going to is the House of Hunger. I'm at the part where she just arrived. She got her blood tasted. They approved, so she's there, and now we're meeting all the other blood maids that are also in the house. Apart from the plot, I will say the writing is so rich in detail and it feels so atmospheric that's why I love books like that. One, and two, it's a great audiobook so far on my walk. Being able to picture when they were traveling from the South to the North, that whole section was just, I just made myself some dinner and I'm gonna listen to more House of Hunger, have my dinner, maybe go back to the Kindle. I don't know, we'll see. It is now 10 a.m. I went on a walk, I had breakfast, I got ready for the day. I just wanted to do a quick check-in. So after I finished The Dangers of Smoking in Bed, I have been listening to the audiobook of House of Hunger. Essentially in the House of Hunger, it is set up as Elizabeth is the main, like the head of the household. She is the one that all the blood maids bleed for. So she has several blood maids. Marion, when she arrives, she's number 5, and essentially you want to be the top blood maid because you get all of her attention. Elizabeth confesses to Marion that when she's taking her blood, she's able to also see her memories. So she brings up stuff from the past when she was in the South, brings up her family members, and because of that like guilt and sadness that Marion holds, it makes her blood even better to taste. There are some changes in the hierarchy of the blood maids, and I think the really interesting part is that every chapter starts with a quote from a blood maid of a different house. So you're getting like sprinkles of information of the other houses while mainly just focusing on the House of Hunger, because there is something going on between the blood maids and you don't know exactly what, but Marion is trying to piece together the little bits of information that she gets while not trying to break any rules, because if she breaks any of the rules that they have for the house, she won't get the big sum of money at the end of her contract. She'll just have to go back to the South and be penniless. I have under 4 hours left. I'm going to take a break and go back to my Kindle. I just downloaded I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I think the author is Iain Reid. This again is more of like a suspense, thriller, mystery type, because that's just what I'm in the mood for right now. I don't know much about it. It has a lot of good reviews on GoodReads, StoryGraph. Yeah, I'm gonna go make a coffee. I just wanted to pause and say that so far I'm only 10% of the way in, so I can't like give a good update, but we have a couple. They are driving to Jake's parents' house to go spend some time there, and she has officially decided that she wants to end things. She does not want to be with him. While they're in the car, she's thinking back to these odd voicemails and like all of these odd little things that have been happening since she started seeing Jake. She started getting these calls by the same number, and it's her number calling her, but when she picks up, it's a man and he hangs up. And if she doesn't answer, he leaves these messages, and the voicemail is always the same. Besides this last one, it says, "I know what you look like. I know your feet and hands and your skin. I know your head and your hair and your heart. You shouldn't bite your nails." That's terrifying. And she hasn't told anybody. She hasn't told Jake. She hasn't told authorities. Nothing. And the odd thing is that between the chapters, you get these sections like italicized, just strangers commenting on something that happened, saying like, this was an irrational person, he's not like us, if you have nothing, there's nothing to lose, nothing to lose. I'm very interested. We just got the description of the parents, and Jake's mom is described to have inky black hair, a powdered white complexion, varnished red lips, and she seems to be a bit shaky or delicate. She might shatter like drop glass. My head immediately thought of the other mother in Coraline, which makes the story even better in my eyes, right? But everything about what's going on in this house is just odd. Odd from the very beginning. I feel like reading this is the same experience that I feel when watching a scary movie, like Scream, when you see something, or like a lot of things are weird, right? Parents are acting weird, the drive up was weird, the conversations are being held are weird, little things that she thought, oh wait, I thought I did that, but then she goes back and the slippers are like a different direction. All of these little things start to add up. The basement door all of a sudden is open. She hears noises that aren't belonging to the parents or Jake. And then it says here, all over the trap door are scratches. There's scratches all along the door. They look like frantic scratches. And she's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go investigate. Why? Go home. Oh my god. Okay. I gotta keep reading. I just finished reading I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Reid. So I went over 28 minutes. I had to because as soon as I started the book, I couldn't put it down. This is one of the only books I finished in one sitting. It left me so stressed and on the edge of my seat that I would recommend the book to anybody who likes books like Comfort Me with Apples, We've Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. It gives you that same type of feeling. It's a quick read, and I'm really glad I ended the video with I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I'm still a bit confused on the ending. I just came back from a walk, but I wanted to add this really quickly because I was listening to a podcast about I'm Thinking of Ending Things. People in the podcast, they either read the physical book and they watched the movie, or they listened to the audiobook, and their reading experience was completely different. And there was one chapter and it just kept repeating the same phrase over and over and over and over again. And I guess in the audiobook, the narrator's voice changes throughout that chapter. And so it makes sense what happens after, towards the end of the story. When I was reading the ebook, I didn't get any of that. And so I was so confused on what was going on. I just wanted to add that in. If you want to read the book, I recommend the audiobook. Okay, so here are all the books that I ended up reading throughout the 24-hour reading challenge, along with my ratings. Let me know your thoughts on the books. Let me know what books I should read for the next reading challenge. And thanks for watching. Bye.